I always save my ejections until it's way too late.
Yeah, and then we have to stop the stream
Oh.
and we have to discuss.
I save mine for dessert.
Oh, Joyo.
Squee's talking Korean again. Get him!
My mother-in-law just gave me blackberries, and she came in shaking her head with like the really bitter face. And then I'm like, "They're not good." And she's like, "No, they're good."
I just disapprove of you and what you're doing right now.
Suspicious. All right.
Well, hello everyone.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not
Sorry,
the GM,
Cliff.
but I might as well
I
say
was-
hello to some of these fuckers. I mean,
I was coughing.
valued watchers.
Yeah, I'm gonna be coughing a little bit and muting my mic, so
You're gonna be
I
a
am
Pokemon?
tweeting.
coughing. I'm still the last stages of the sickness, so I feel fine, but I've got a cough, a calf.
Well, then I guess you don't feel completely fine. No, I'm just. I know what you mean. I'm just being a fuck face.
Well, it's kind of an odd thing, though. It is kind of an odd thing, really, because I do feel 100% fine. I just have a cough, and it makes no sense to me.
Do you feel 100% when you're coughing? Ooh, that's a hat.
Hang on there. We're dropping the philosophy bombs.
I was gonna say, because if you have a bad cough, in my opinion, you're not really feeling all. I mean, I know what you mean. Like you have no fever, your energy's fine, etc.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't call someone with a bad cough healthy.
agreed.
Right?
Absolutely agreed. Which is the source of my confusion at my body. So
My body confuses me on a daily basis.
I have an 8th nipple now? Really? Body.
Wait, what?
Come on.
Not like
First
that.
7
First
were
of all,
okay.
First of all, I'm not a cat
0
or a
to
dog or
100.
another farm animal that has 6 to 8 nipples. Second of all, that's not what I mean.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
like-
let's play the fucking game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when last we left, you all had just finished quite possibly the most epic and ridiculous fight that this campaign has had in a very long time. Flying about 20 feet above the ground with a throng of people underneath you, headed towards the government Citadel building. You guys took on a squad of some people dressed as Corsairs, and
Oh
I'm gonna be
god, I
honest
hope they
here.
weren't actual Corsairs.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. You pretty much slaughtered them. That was a very one-sided fight for the most part, with the exception of Purple over there.
No.
And Anna.
Anna was
Banana.
daggling off the side a bit, so it wasn't too one-sided.
And it spent the whole fight
Oh.
trying to get on the ship.
Yeah.
All right, just to you weren't here when this happened, but one of them killed themselves through one of the cyanide teeth, so pretty sure not Corsairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
that was
Thank
Oh,
you.
great.
and,
So,
and all of them were
that's
wearing the kind of scorched and burnt uniforms from the people from the video that we saw.
And damaged
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're pretty safe.
You are all pretty
If
sure.
we get arrested.
Well, hold on.
Um,
Speaking of safe, the driver just killed himself, and we are
yeah,
now
but that's what I'm
careening.
here for.
Okay.
Don't you worry. Here
Yeah,
comes
so I was
Inferno
going to cover
fans.
that. So basically, everyone on that crew was either killed in the battle. The blue guy jumped off. And it was funny because the players were kind of like, "Really?" And I'm like, "You're slaughtering them."
I knew the survival rate. I would have taken the jump any day.
He jumped off. You don't know if he is alive or whatnot. And the last one, the pilot, you captured him. However, concealed within his body armor, he had plenty of time to crack down on an old cyanide tooth and commit the big one. So we literally ended right there where the pilot had slumped over dead.
One thing for Xavier to see. Anna has electricity all over her body right now.
Yes.
Hot.
Anna has electricity all over her body, and anyone who is within 6 feet of her has all of their hair standing up on end, which makes Kid look. I'm not sure if that's adorable or terrifying. I don't. I can't
mean,
decide.
if I remember correctly, you said there was a lot of blood splatter going on.
Yep.
Oh my
So
god.
Yep.
I'm leaning more
You
towards
killed a
terrifying.
man with your face.
Head.
And it was great.
So yes, blood splatter indeed.
Wow. Okay, so before we get into the session and the reality of the game here for a moment, you're gonna have. I need to lead on my players a little bit because it's pretty much been a month since we missed 2 weeks, and last week I wasn't feeling so well. But are we going to the government building to let them know what we discovered, or did we have a different plan involved?
Well,
as far as you guys know, Lucas was very adamant about getting to the government building. Has not actually given any reasons yet.
Yeah, but we must have come up with reasons.
I
We typically
definitely
don't
did.
just do whatever the fuck. I mean, no offense, but we don't typically be like, oh, you know the magical jester. Let's just follow his lead. You know what I mean? Because I know we have uncovered. I remember what we've uncovered. You know what I mean? The videos, the assassination plots, etc., etc. And I remember we had a bit of a revelation, or at least a thought. But it's escaping me right now.
There was an attack that was going to happen during the vote that's going on right now.
Because
And Lucas was
well,
pushing Anna, we need to go now at the spell.
It's a little more subtle than that. Give you guys some credit. You knew that they were going to do something at a certain time, and you also found out that there was a vote at said time, and you put 2 and 2 together, and were headed towards the vote at the Citadel building, thinking that they were doing exactly what you found them doing, headed there for mischief.
yes,
So we prevented. Okay, all right. I think
we
it's
prevented
also-
one of the 2 stolen vehicles.
You also know
Oh, there's
that
a second one.
Magnolia was not with them, and that Magnolia has Anna's little sister.
Oh wait, shit! How did we figure that? Wait,
Because
That was
she
in the
was
video.
she was on the
Videotape,
video.
right?
She was
That
on
was
the
in
video.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Magnolia
Sorry.
was in the
Okay, it's
video,
coming back
took
now.
Anna's little sister. She said something to the fact of the older one is too I forget what I said exactly, powerful or to control, but the younger one's just fine. And then Magnolia went one way, they went the other.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm caught up enough that I can suss my way through it if necessary. There's no need. We don't need to bog down the session any further for me. So yeah, let's rock and roll party time.
All right, so pilot slumps over dead. Hovercraft starts careening. Not careening. It's not like it's driving off the road. It's starting to list lazily towards.
All right. Okay, time to Xavier's time to shine. I weave through the hovercraft, kind of leaning towards the side that's listing, suggesting folks that while I'm getting there, move to the side to kind of counterbalance the weight as I unceremoniously pull the now dead soldier, operative, spy / asshole from his seat and get in and look over the controls. Say, all right, nothing like improvising in this situation. He looks around and sees the city cascade by. As he puts his hands on his controls and does his best to steady and slow the hovercraft enough so we're no longer careening out of control.
Okay. Roll me a piloting check. There's going to be a -10 because this is very unfamiliar tech. But on the other hand, you're not trying to do anything insanely complicated.
Crazy.
So
Yes.
Isaac, you have a plus-
Groovy. Let me just double check my pilot hovercraft, right?
Mhm.
Oh, sweet. I have like a 95% chance of success. So it's 85. All right, here we go. Roll 1d100. 70. Woo! Yay!
All right.
Crazy
I
is
see
good
it by
at
a
this.
whole 8.
Real quick before I describe that, Isaac, you have a plus sign.
No. That
What?
was for when we were explaining, when I could have said
Oh, got
everything
it.
instead of
Got
everybody
it.
chiming in. But that's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right. So you are able to successfully stop it from listing off to your right, which is not surprising considering there is a giant earth elemental on that side. Excuse me. So you get control of it. You can kind of bring it back even, and about this time you are hearing sirens approaching you.
Xavier says, as much as I never thought I'd say this, maybe we should slow down and explain to the authorities what's going on. It will probably prevent complications in the future.
All right. Slow it down enough so they can catch up. We'll yell over the information.
You start to see it only takes a few minutes. You start to see it starts if it's 2 and then 4 and then a 5th one starting coming up from the rear. They are CDF hover platforms, much like what you're on now. You can see red and black uniforms on them, and they have flashing yellow and blue lights on them.
Okay.
And as they get close to you, they start circling you, and you hear over a loudspeaker, "Put the hovercraft down and drop any weapons."
Xavier slowly lowers the hovercraft to the ground, and he's going to raise his hands up without weapons. He's going to say, cool it, cool it, cool it, cool it, cool it. We're on the same side. Sorry, I had to do that quote from fucking John Wick. Such a funny moment. Cool it, cool it, cool it, cool it, cool it, cool it, cool it. All right.
You set it down. What does everyone else do? Is everyone like dropping weapons, putting hands up? What's going on?
Put down your head.
This will put down his giant gun. It's too hard to holster right now.
There's a
And
time
then
when it's not too hard to holster.
Yeah, that's when he has
Yes.
magical strength involved.
Yes, I suppose.
and then he puts up his hand, looks over to the golem, nudges him. The golem also puts up his hands.
I love
Oh
how
my
it's like
God.
he should have known to do this.
It's adorable.
All right, Kid, Isaac, Anna.
Kid is going to raise their hands, kind of watching everyone else and mimicking them with a small frown.
Anna will have her hands up, but her face kind of turned away so they won't have a clear view of it.
Well, they're surrounding you, so
She's gonna try with her hair.
Got it. I understand. So the 5 hovercrafts set down. The crowd has actually cleared away. Obviously, they're kind of forming a perimeter back behind the hover cycles now. And the 3 of them land. 2 of them stay hovering above, and they kind of circle you with their front end pointed towards you. And when they see that you are complying over the loudspeaker again, it says, "Put your hands behind your head and get on your knees."
I do those things.
Yes. I also do that.
Driver Bob was left behind when you guys all jumped off.
Yeah, fuck you, Driver
'Cause
Bob.
Driver
You're on
Bob
your
no
own.
longer had a fare.
I love how their programming is so specific. It makes sense.
They've
You
had
know
a
the
rash
thing is,
problem with suicide
you know,
jumpers.
the thing is, it could very likely not be programming, but he could also be sentient just like Cyber 6, and we're just being assholes right now. Just saying. There is that possibility.
Anna, you would know this. There has been from time to time someone who would jump off as a form of suicide or something like that, and they had a huge problem because the driver would then no longer have anyone to give it direction, and it could sometimes drive into things. So they programmed it very specifically. Once someone leaves your craft, you fly home.
All important information.
Yes, it could be. You never know.
Could be.
Enough of your
So-
sass, miss, or God's gonna punish us.
Xavier has put his hands behind his head and gotten to his knees. Anyone else?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I'm getting on my
Um,
knees. I'm not putting my hands behind my head, but I'm holding up the PDA with the seal.
Okay. Kid?
Kid will slowly mimic Isaac. Or not Isaac, but Xavier.
Got it. The three speeders that land on the ground each have about 6 or 7 troops. They all disembark and begin approaching the speeder with weapons drawn. As they get close to the speeder, they begin to climb aboard of it. One of them gets on the radio, and you can hear him say, "We have dead Corsairs. We have dead Corsairs."
Nope, they're not
And-
Corsairs. They are not Corsairs, Xavier says as loudly as he can. They are imposters, and we have proof on us right now.
With that, they climb aboard, and some check the bodies, some point guns at you. About 6 or 7 are nervously pointing guns at the Earth Elemental. They don't approach you more than like to get within arm's reach. They stay a decent distance away, pointing their weapons at you. And for about 15 or 20 seconds, they don't say anything. You're welcome to say something if you'd like during that time.
Oh, if there's one thing Xavier can do, it's say things. Out of character, guys. Who has the recording? Is it on Xavier's hollow computer or is it with Anna?
It's on Xavier's hollow computer, if I recall correctly. Because
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
an
unless he gave it
actual,
back,
okay,
he would have it.
USB. So you plugged it in.
No. Sure. So Xavier, with his hands on his head, because it said so. He says, "On my left wrist is my hollow computer. Recently, I accessed a video file, security footage of a local warehouse of these individuals that we just dealt with, murdering Corsairs and taking their uniforms. I will allow you complete control in securing me and taking a look at my hollow computer, but that will speak loudly for itself. We have other evidence as well, but this is the most rapid way. Right now, you have no reason to believe me, but the sooner this is resolved, the sooner a great tragedy over at your sorry, we're not from here. Your place of voting, your gathering place, your political gathering place. We have reason to believe an attack is going to be happening while an important vote is being passed. And you will be doing the entire city an extreme favor by just humoring me. That's all I ask you to do."
Some of the people pointing guns looks at one in particular, the one CDF force officer in particular, who you can't tell much about them because they're fully outfitted in armor, except they do have a feminine form. And the one in the feminine form says, "Secure the situation, secure his wristwatch, bring them in, we'll sort this out, and put extra security on the meeting." And with that, they begin approaching you guys with things that look like binders or handcuffs.
Okay. Then
What? Sorry, you're cutting out for me.
Oh, so what did you miss?
he jumped out. He's probably gonna jump back in.
Okay. One of them, I will say this. One of them, the same one, the one in the feminine form, says, "Whoever controls this elemental, unsummon him now."
Let's see if he can do that.
Oh God.
Because I have a sneaking suspicion that it,
You might need a certain weapon to do it.
There might be, yes, there's that. Second, I don't think there's a duration on this or a turn off. What do you think? This is probably up to you.
I
honestly-
have to imagine.
Honestly, for every single other spell that I know of, for the Rift system, if you want to end it at will, you can end it at will because you are the
Right.
originator of the spell. The thing is,
I
this
know
is a
summoners
techno-wizard
are a
device.
little different. Yeah,
think,
I
or
know. I
magical
know
device.
that summonings can be a little different, but I would have to assume that it is under your control, so it is under your power to stop. With the exception of, you probably need the shuriken to do it.
Has it been 2 minutes?
Since you cast it, yeah, it's been 2 minutes.
He's out.
Oh, he only lasts for 2 minutes?
I rolled a 1d6. I rolled a 2, if I remember correctly.
Okay, perfect. Well, then we'll say, how about we say that? The second it says that, it takes about 5 seconds or so, and then it unsummons. We'll just keep it nice and simple.
Hello?
So,
Hey, Inferno.
Hello?
Did you have a question?
Hey, Inferno.
I didn't have a question. It was, I'll catch up. Discord's glitching
Okay.
out on me. a bit, so
They
that's
are
fine.
approaching
Don't-
you guys. They are approaching you guys with handcuffs. They are securing your weapons, and
Oh,
basically they're doing
handcuffs.
like what you would police expect police to do when they're securing a scene.
All right.
Sure, okay, I'm gonna let them do it. The sooner they get this done, the sooner, explosions don't happen.
Mhm.
Or whatever the fuck these fuckers are doing.
And the captain did say, like, what they said was secure the scene, bring them in, and put extra security on the meeting. So you did hear that. And with that, unless anyone resists, they are going to handcuff you and move you. They're going to move your weapons to one speeder and you to another.
Okay. There is something I would like to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that is to try and hand over the PDA with the seal to whomever is nearby, to one of the officers.
One of the officers would have taken it from you and shown it to the captain,
Okay.
who would have looked it over. And while you're being secured, she would look it over and she would say, "It says here you have the authority of the Admiral of the Corsairs to investigate a situation, not to assault people in the daylight street.
Hmm.
We will settle this somewhere else." Yes, kid.
Oh.
How are they securing kid? They are
Yes.
securing kid with handcuffs that are remarkably strong.
Is this like behind their back or in front or like
Hmm.
are they like regular police handcuffs or are they thicker?
They are thicker. Think more like manacles that are connected together through a tough strip of metal. They will be in front of you, not behind you.
Okay.
But I will say, when they direct you to another speeder, they do have a hand on, at least one hand on your shoulder, like moving you. Everyone. And about 2 other guns trained on you at all times. It's very clear that these people know what they're doing, and they are taking no chances with this group. Especially since it's not sure whether or not you just massacred a bunch of Corsairs. So they move you all to a speeder. The speeder gets up and travels back towards District 2. Not to the Corsair Academy, but to more the CDF barracks area. After about a brief 10-15 minute flight, you are landed, and wordlessly you are all led into what is like a detention center. It's a bit odd. Instead of it being one jail cell or separate jail cells in different areas, there are these boxes that are made out of some sort of clear material. It looks almost like plastic, and they are connected to each other. So think of it just like plastic cubes all in a row. And each one of you is put into one of them, and the door is the manacles are taken off you, and the door is locked.
Kids not gonna like that. They're gonna be resisting just a little bit.
Define a little bit.
They're going to be pushing back against any pushing forward.
Okay. You mean like to the speeders or to the cell?
Into the cell.
Okay. So the second you start pushing back, you hear resisting. They're resisting, and about 6 guns are leveled on you. And one of them coolly says, "Get into the cell, or we will open fire."
Oh, crap. Kid makes a very unpleasant sound, almost growling, but not quite. But they don't move.
All right. Give me 1 second. Oh, so Kid isn't resisting, they're just not doing what they're told, basically, at the moment.
Pretty much.
Okay. I'm trying to think exactly how they would deal with this. They would begin to so you still have about 6 guns trained on you, and they are getting very tense when you don't move. And when you don't move, the one who told you to do so pulls out it looks like a small handle at first, and when it presses a button, it shoots out something that looks kind of like a fork, and the fork starts like popping with electricity. And he says, "One more time, get in the cell, or we will put you in there."
Jesus Christ.
Everyone, just so everyone else knows, you can hear. These cells are not soundproof, so you can hear everything that's going on and see everything that's going on because the cells are completely clear.
Someone should say something because Kid's gonna start baring their teeth.
I could say something if you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
They
yes.
aren't
Okay.
soundproof, so yeah.
So Xavier is no, I mean like Discord because it's still I don't know lag
Oh,
spike or
yeah.
Discord. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, Xavier will kind of give a sympathetic look, and he says, "As you can tell, our companion is not from here. She's not used to this convention, and this could create a lot of unnecessary violence and problems. Before we continue, have you had a chance to look at my holo computer yet?"
The man who is speaking to Kid looks to Xavier and says, "This is not negotiation.
It's
This is
not
where we discuss
supposed to
this."
be a negotiation. I am not negotiating for her, for me, for anyone else. I'm asking a question. Have you not acknowledged that we are investigators? We have been authorized by the highest powers of the Corsair leadership. Have you not figured that out at least?
Then, if what you say is true, convince your friend to get in the cell so that we can have time to verify it without murdering it.
It? They have a name, and it's Kid. If you haven't learned the basics of respect for other folks, no wonder you're having problems with them. Xavier will take a look at Kid and says, "Listen, this is not a fight that you need right now. I understand you're probably not very comfortable, but things will go a lot easier if you just comply. If you're nervous or if you're angry, just close your eyes and count to 10. That's what I always do."
Id is going to look between the Corsairs and Xavier and take a very long breath. And they're going to count to 10 under their breath.
Hey, one of you holding your guns, they like cards. If you can get like a pack of cards, that might ease the situation.
The same guard says, still looking at Kid, "We are not here to ease the situation. We are here to contain it."
Well, it's hard to contain a situation when it goes all fucked up beyond all recognition. Couldn't you acknowledge that? Have you not dealt with anyone who might be nervous, scared, phobic, mentally ill?
Or heck, even on your side.
Yes, even then.
Xavier, roll me a convince check.
All right. It's not a convince check. It's an attempt to charm.
I know.
Oh.
You know what I mean.
No, can I help?
Well, you can't after the roll.
Okay.
What's Kid doing at this moment?
They are counting, and they've kind of gone past 10 because so far it's not working.
Yeah, I figured. Just keep on counting. Just keep counting. Just keep counting. Just keep counting.
Okay, Dory.
Counting. Okay. What do? We count, count, count.
The guard raises a hand and says, "On my command, open fire if it does not get in the cell."
You're making a huge mistake, Xavier says. You'll be lucky by the end of the day you're not in one of these cells yourself.
Okay, all of that just completely cut out for me after you said the guard says.
The guard raises his hand and he says, "On my command, shoot her." Or shoot it, basically. If it doesn't get in the cell. And he with his hand up, he says, "I am being as reasonable as I can. You just massacred people in the middle of a public street, and we need time to figure out what's going on. And until we do, we have to secure the situation. So for the last time, please, get in the cell."
Oh, jeez. As he's finishing his sentence, Kid is going to floop into the cell.
The door shuts. A very nervous guard shuts the door, and the one with his hand up says, "Thank you."
Xavier will press his hand up against his own cell, and he says, "Every second you take is a second that your friends, your companions, your leadership is going to lose. Look at me. This is not some con. This is not some trick. Look at the holo computer now." And he's gonna thump against the walls urgently.
The guard looks to you and says, "I assure you, it is being looked at, and the matter is being taken care of. That was not my responsibility."
15 more seconds. 15 more seconds gone. You just keep counting. Like I said, by the end, you'll be in here and we'll be out there. We're done.
It is not my job to watch the
Xavier's
hologram.
going to
It
turn
is
around.
already being watched.
Xavier's turning around. He's ignoring
I
him.
understand. No, I understand. He says, "When we have more information, we will be back." And
you want any information? We got some information. Let me give you some stuff. So we've been actually personally asked to do this from the top. We already saved a person's life twice. We've also given her general ample opportunity, as well as trying to save her life multiple times, even in the future of this particular situation. Thank you for actually increasing the guard stuff in there. Appreciated. As well as found a massacre down at this particular location, which you'd probably find at that particular computer, where we actually rushed over to save their freaking lives. Also, during that particular time, we've also been personally authorized to have heavy armorettes. How do you think we even got around in the city without actual authorization in these particular facets? I don't even know.
The captain looks to Lucas and he says, "As I said, your video is being watched as we speak. People are being reached to contact to verify your story."
Oh,
It
about
checks
that
out.
contact thing. The whole thing, it's being jammed. We've already run into those particular problems.
The
This
captain,
is why we are personally in those spots instead of just calling up people and saying, "Hey, watch out." Oh, also, God, there was a lady. What was her name? No,
Isaac
he
will.
looks over to Xavier and is like, I think he knows. Well, I don't think he's gonna say anything.
Isaac will pipe up from laying down and yell Magnolia.
Ah, yes. A rogue Corsair herself, highly suspected of actually trying to do this assassinations. Something about electricity trying to shoot out. Very, very unfortunate. Oh, also, that lady, her sister is also in captivity under that particular, thing. That lady, right? That her name Magnolia, right? She's also personally under a bad spot right now. All of this really time sensitive stuff, gotta say, and this is not helping. As he throws up his hands towards the cell.
when you say that, he looks to Anna and he says, "Your sister is in trouble."
Yes, it looks like actually, for this entire time, she's just kind of been leaning up against a wall with her head down, and she'd be very hesitant to talk and be like, "Yes, it looks like the person who's been planning the assassinations on your political figures also took my sister today."
What is her name?
Teresa.
Teresa. Is that the only name? Teresa Height. Inform the captain. Hyde?
Hyde, yeah.
He'll turn to one of the guards, inform the captain of this. And
she'll be cringing when she says the last name.
Got it. And the CDF guard runs off and he says, he looks at Anna for a little bit and he says, hang on. He says, "We are checking into verifying your story. The captain will be made aware of this, and we will act in as much haste as we can. If your sister is in danger, we will find her."
All right. Sorry. Lucas is just like, "Hey, but we're the investigators."
He looks at Lucas pointedly and says, "Not anymore."
Oh, you're gonna have to take it up with that guy then. Oh no. I would not say that to us. I'm sorry. I did no.
He looks at you for a moment. He says, "Are you referring to the Admiral of the Corsairs? They do not have jurisdiction in this matter." If you were charged by him, if your story checks out, then I will be the first to thank you. But until it does, understand that every criminal that has stood in that cell has told me a similarly moving story.
Xavier just laughs with spite and bitterness. This is out of character. This is why he cannot stand law enforcement, their inflexibility, their inability, their myopicness, and the fact that, he's never really, he's a smuggler, so it's not like he respects them all that much. But if people are wondering why I'm not working my tongue magic, it's because I just have nothing but contempt for it, especially this guy. So there you go.
I completely understand that. I got to imagine, too, you and probably the whole group is used to very small groups where you just go, you do. That's the way it works. So, about 15 minutes pass. And he won't say anything else unless you guys do.
So he's watching us this entire time?
Oh, there's about 6 people watching you, but he's one of them, yes.
Oh, okay.
After a while, kids just kind of smacking their forehead against the cell wall, glaring at the guy.
After about... Oh, go ahead.
After a few minutes, Isaac will actually start to softly snore.
Wow.
Does he have his little cowboy hat tipped down?
Yes. Cowboy hat tipped down, his duster is being used as a pillow. But I'm sorry, he's been awake for 2 full frickin' days. And we just came off of a battle, the adrenaline would have emptied, and he would be coming off of that adrenaline high. So he crashed.
Anna will be putting on Alter Aura again.
Okay.
Lucas will actually most likely continue to say more things like, isn't it fishy that we didn't just, with our armaments, just shoot down the car while driving past? Why would we mount the car? That seems silly. Why would we jump
trying
in?
To take prisoners and figure out what's going on, and
Yeah,
avoid people getting hurt.
Yeah, one of them committed suicide. Somehow. I still have no idea how they're doing these things.
He probably ate a tooth.
None
Kid
of them
growls out.
Well, shoot. Also, isn't it strange that a few of us actually jumped in without actually, like, heavy armament armors in a clearly mega damage fight? It's almost like we were trying to do something else other than kill them. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
The captain doesn't respond to this, but he listens. You can tell that, his face mask is turned towards you. And after about 15 minutes, there is a commotion in the back of the room, and you hear a very familiar and rather loud robotic voice say, "Let me through." And
Shiny guy.
"Sir, you can't go back there. You can't go back there." I said, "Let me through." And Cyber 6 comes striding up with several CDF kind of in tow, saying he can't do what he's doing.
Well, that doesn't seem to be stopping him.
And he gets to you and he says, "Are you guys okay?"
Yes, except Xavier is going to point at an imaginary watch because his holocomputer's gone. Time is of the essence. We have unveiled a serious plot, and it still might be going underway.
Tell me what you know quickly. And someone's like, "Sir, you can't." And Cyber just kind of holds up a hand and looks at you guys.
Well, it seems like they were trying to do something towards attacking during the what was that? Some sort of meeting, voting thing. Majority of them we took out, but there's still a few out there. One of them even jumped off a bit ago. And one of them was pushed off, so there's 2 still kind of around there. We probably halted a bit of that, but since we're kind of stuck here in about 15 minutes, she might have caught wind and actually started escaping, so Lucas kind of just shrugs a bit.
Cyber 6 looks to the guard that you've been talking to, and he says, "How many survivors were found on the ground?" And the guard says, 1. Or I mean, how many bodies? And he says 1. And Cyber 6 looks back to you and says, 2 were knocked off?
2.
He nods. And then he starts walking away, and he says very loudly, "If you harm a hair on their heads, Corporal, you'll be hearing from me." And then he hurries out.
Kid's gonna bang on the glass with their fists and go, "We can help!"
Cyber 6 turns around and he looks straight at Kid and he says, "I know, but they don't. And unfortunately, I don't have the jurisdiction necessary to help you right now. I will do what I can." And then he
Fucking
rushes
bureaucracy, Xavier says. It will kill your. Will kill so many people.
Another 15 minutes pass by, so it's been about 30 minutes since you've been in the cell, and the same captain that arrested you with the feminine clinging body armor comes up, and her helmet's off, and you can tell that it's a human. Looks to be maybe in her 60s. Definitely older. She's got a lot more gray hairs than black, and she has her helmet under her arm, and she says, "Release them." And then as they start opening the door, she says, "Your story checks out for the most part. We watched your video. We're doing everything we can to apprehend this Magnolia, I believe you said, and to look for your sister. We've also reached out to the Admiral. He corroborates your story, and Senator Teal corroborates giving you permission to use your weapons. I assure you we're doing everything we can. If you would please remain for some questioning, but we don't need to have you in the... Are you hungry?"
Lucas thinks for a bit. You know what? What the hey? What do you guys think? I'm up for anything. It's already been a bit too much time for us to really act. Oh yeah, your sister's still in danger. How do you feel about all this?
Sorry, I'm debating if Anna would speak up. Pretty much she does want to go for her sister, but she's also trying not to draw attention to herself right now since she's not technically a legal citizen.
Dilemmas, I know, right?
So she'll just shrug, I think. Yeah, let's go with that.
All right. However, when Lucas says that, the captain does look at Anna, and she says, "Do you have any idea at all of where your sister may be?"
Wherever this Magnolia person is, I'm guessing. And I don't care. They mentioned a ship, right, in the video, or am I imagining that?
They did mention a ship in the video.
Okay. Then it's like, and they said something about a ship, so maybe on there. I don't know which one, unfortunately.
She nods and she says, "Unfortunately, there are millions of ships, but we're doing everything we can to look for your sister." As I said, if you would come this way, there's food if you want to drink. We have a few questions, but you are no longer under suspicion at the current time.
So the guy who originally was in charge of keeping an eye on us, he's still in the room, correct?
Correct. He's still standing there with his faceplate on and everything. Like, they're all still in full body armor, except for her, who has her helmet off.
Kid's gonna make a face at him and just sort of walk out of the room.
He will not react to it, but he looks at it, definitely.
Hey, Squee.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of them try to rouse Isaac from his slumber?
When they opened the door, they would have, I assume.
Okay. Then he will get up and follow the rest of the group.
Okay. Xavier, were you going to say something, or?
I'm good for now.
Okay. So you guys would be led to a room that kind of looks like a commissary. And you'd be offered food if you'd like it. It's pretty simple food. It looks like some form of meatloaf with some sort of green beans and some sort of beverage that looks like a purplish milk.
Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. Isaac will take a lot of meatloaf. A little bit of green beans and some milk. Purple milk, whatever it is.
Okay. If anyone else wants some, they can definitely have some. The captain will sit down across from you, and as you eat, she will say, "I, for what it's worth, apologize. We had to contain the situation as quickly as we could. The vote is safe. There were no further attacks on it, and the extra security I placed would have hopefully prevented any if there were. We have confirmed your story. The Corsair uniforms that were worn by those individuals were formerly belonged to the dead Corsairs that are no doubt still in that building. We are sending people to investigate now." Do you know who they were?
No. We were in the midst of trying to figure out when we were interfered with.
You could try asking the puppet.
Yeah, that's right. We also captured another person that was alive. That he's going to point over to Lucas, turned into a puppet. We also interrogated him.
Yes, I have reports of this. The man you speak of is in custody. However, he is, well, he's raving. I'm not sure he's right in the mind, but we are pressing him as much as we can for what information we can get. It would also seem that one of the people who you fought jumped or was thrown off, I'm not sure, but they, from what you say and from what we found, one of them at least survived. The other, his neck was broken on impact. We do not currently have any idea of the whereabouts of this Magnolia or your little sister, and we are doing everything we can to find them. But I'm going to be honest with you. We have as much to go on as you do, and there are, as I said, millions of ships in this city.
Well, like you said, we have very little to go on, but I mean, we could at least try somewhere.
It is going to pipe up with through a mouthful of meatloaf and go, "Don't you guys know her?"
Us?
The lady on the video.
Oh, Magnolia.
Yeah, Magnolia.
The name and the description matches a Corsair, yes. However,
We've been acquainted.
Oh.
Yes. In fact, she is part of the main reason why we're even here. We've been here for 3 hours now, ish, here in Zeberon, and all of this stuff has happened.
You've been there for about 8 or so, yeah, but yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Less than half a day. Anyway, Xavier will say she's turned traitor. She stole an important artifact and escaped, along with some other ex-Corsairs turned rogue companions.
I see. I had not heard that, though the Corsairs do tend to keep their business close to their chest.
Uh-huh. Listen, I know you're probably trying to do the best you can, Xavier says, with a bit of contempt. But I think we'll get more done if we're free to continue our investigation.
I'm afraid at the moment that will not be possible. And all of Zeberon has seen you engage in deadly combat with what looks like our Corsairs. The
All
entire
of
town...
Zeberon, Xavier says, raising an eyebrow.
She nods. She says, TV is fast in this town. If the populace were to see you at the moment, I am not sure what they would do, but it would certainly be ill-advised for public order to just release you on the streets.
Well, I guess we'll just have to be good little soldiers and wait till we're needed next. You know, we didn't even want to do this. We did this as a favor to this city. I see what favors get us.
Anna, you have a plus sign.
What are the chances a ship could sneak into the city?
Is she saying this, or is this what your character?
This is out of character at the moment.
Possible. You did it.
So,
In fact, you arrived. The ship you arrived on was an unlogged ship.
so Anna would know a general area where this could happen.
Yes, you would. So, and I'll let you know how what your character knows. The way it was done for you, not that it's the only way, but it's the way that you are most familiar with, because that's how you got here. Was your ship was inside a much larger ship that was cleared to enter the barrier, and once it entered the barrier, your ship discreetly disconnected from it and flew off to another location.
Would this location be like a standard place where this could be like where ships would sneak in, or no?
That one's harder to tell. Your ship traveled to Sector 3, the port area, where there are literally like thousands upon thousands of landing strips and areas.
Okay.
So it wasn't as though your ship like just flew to a completely part of town. It flew to just a different direction in the same area and landed at some predetermined location.
Okay, that doesn't really work with what I wanted to do then.
Okay.
Never mind.
So the captain looks at Xavier as he says that, and she shrugs and she says, "I understand your frustration, but there are procedures to follow."
Xavier will just look at her passively. He says, "There's no must in all of this. You choose to. That's fine. Doesn't matter." Xavier says, "You have us exactly where you want us. So what else can we do? We're telling you everything we know, and we're not allowed to act on our own anymore. So, frankly, I think it's easiest if you just relieve us of our duty. We'll try to find Anna's sister on our own and let you guys clean up the rest of the mess. We're not from here. We have no dog in this fight. In fact, that was one of the reasons why we were hired to begin with. Now, apparently, things have changed. So, I guess that's that."
She nods briefly, and then she says, "I do not have the authority to detain you. You are technically under the Counselor Teal's protection and under the Admiral of the Corsairs' writ. You have not broken any laws, and I see no reason to keep you here. Your weapons are in the front room. I am in no official way or capacity telling you to leave or to involve yourselves in this investigation any further. But I do not have the authority nor the will to keep you in this building."
Well,
I don't want this time for the entire group, so go ahead. Okay, guys, we have two choices, pretty much. Either we play along with the law, or we don't. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean that we don't have to break the law, but we either accept or reject what she's offering.
Well, if I, out of character, if I chose between the two, I'd probably go with reject.
and actually just get up and leave.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm leaning towards.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it fits with everything that we've ever done in this campaign, so
Pretty much.
Sounds good
Why
to
break
me.
tradition?
We could pretty much just go, like back to the ship and then continue our own investigation, couldn't we?
As a GM, I can
Mhm.
tell you that at the moment there doesn't seem to be anything stopping you from what you know as characters.
Yeah. Why don't we just do that?
Yeah,
Spend some
Anna
time on the ship.
probably leave no matter what right now.
Yeah.
So we're in agreement.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, so you are all in agreement. That's good. So you all
Great.
are in agreement that you do not want to help her. You would like to take the offer to walk out.
Xavier will
Quote,
start to
unquote.
stand. Yeah.
I don't think we can help her with anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. So Xavier's gonna take a look around and say, "Well, guys, I think our work here is done. I think we're gonna take her on her suggestion." He'll look around to his friends to see if they will follow.
Kid's gonna grab a handful of meatloaf and hop over.
Oh,
Lucas,
well, there's
seeing a
breadsticks.
perfectly good idea, will also take a handful of meatloaf.
Isaac will finish his meatloaf and down the entire rest of the glass of purple milk, and then leave the green beans on the plate. Then get up and get ready to go.
Anna's by the door.
How'd she get there? All right.
Walked.
So you're able to leave. No one accosts you. True to the captain's word, your gear is by the front door. However, all of your weapons have been unloaded. The ammunition is there, but you have no. Basically, your weapons are locked and chambered. If that makes sense. Wait, no, that's the opposite. Unchambered.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah,
Nice.
there we
Locked
go.
in chamber. Oh
Christ.
yeah.
Squee? Squee, why do you have to do this to me?
No, I'm sorry, but all of your weapons have been unloaded.
All right, give me a few minutes, guys. He's going to take up his bandit big bore and start loading one round at a time into the revolver and all that. And he'll
all
do
of your
that with all the
ammunition
guns.
your ammunition is in the duffel bag, so it's not like you just have stray bullets wandering around everywhere. They didn't just
Yeah.
toss them down; they are in your duffel bag. So
Okay.
you can pick the duffel bag up and go if you don't want to do that in the lobby of the police station.
You know, you kind of have a point. Fine, they'll be unloaded.
I'm not saying you can't. It's like probably some criminal being brought in, looking at this guy in a cowboy outfit, loading a gun one bullet at a time in a police station.
No,
You
it's
interrogating
fine.
me?
All right, so you guys exit the police station. You are somewhat familiar with where you are. You are in district number 2, somewhere in the CDF section. You're probably about a 20-minute walk and like a 3-minute drive away from your ship and the Corsair Academy. But I also don't know where you guys plan to go from here, so it's up to you.
Anna is going to put her hands in her pockets and look at the group and say, well, thank you for clearing my name, but it looks like I'm going to have to go find my sister now. See you guys.
Hold up, Xavier says. Listen, I know we just met, and I know technically we don't have any authority anymore, but Xavier pauses for a moment. First of all, you seem like a pretty decent person, all told. And the likelihood of you involved in this is incredibly low. Xavier gives a smirk. In addition, well, he gives a sigh and he says, I could say all this noble shit, but honestly, finding your sisters when these bureaucratic fools couldn't would really stick it to them. And I wouldn't mind sticking it to them. What do you guys think? They'll look over to the rest of his companions.
Lucas is currently checking his radio.
Isaac will nod.
So, if you'll take our help, we'd like to, 6 set of eyes and legs and hands are better than 1.
GM, is the communications to the main building?
It is back up.
Okay. Yes,
Are
hello. May I please speak to Sarah, please?
Lucas? Oh my God, Lucas! The reports I've been seeing on the TV. Are you okay?
Besides having a slap on the wrist and almost being shot, I'm good.
The news. They're saying that you massacred Corsairs.
They weren't.
Yeah, no, the people that had Corsair shirts on. Apparently, if you just got those on, you were like gold. Hey, can you do me a favor?
What? Yes. What?
Could you get Cyber 6 on the line?
Oh, sure. Just one moment. I think this Cyber 6. Just one moment. Okay, I have him.
Okay. Could you tell him we're needing a small favor if he can meet us at if he has any time to meet us somewhere, that'd be good.
I can hear you, Lucas.
Hey, can you meet us somewhere somewhere close? That'd be pretty good.
Possible. I'm currently tracking the one that got away.
Oh, on foot? You're probably busy.
We can help.
Did they let you go?
Kid says hopefully.
Oh yeah, we're all clear over here.
All right. Then perhaps you can meet me.
Okay.
And there's a moment. Zeberon Square. Just find a taxi driver, tell him that. They'll know where to go. I hope to have him by then. And if I don't, maybe you can help.
Be careful because most of the other guys had a false tooth with poison. So he might try to kill himself if he is cornered.
Well, that makes things complicated. Okay. Then I won't approach him until you get here. Still, Zeberon Square. We'll meet there and we'll figure out a next step.
Okay. Sounds good to me, guys. What do you guys think?
Turns off the radio. We gotta get those uniforms.
Yeah, I like where your mind is at.
Like,
Still one in my bedroom.
people just, like, if you just wear them and you're bad guys, people will still praise you. Like, that's ridiculous. We have to get those.
Ooh. Because we're cleared for reinforced armor, if we could get some, like, reinforced Corsair armor, that'd be great because they couldn't see our faces either. We could blend in.
Xavier will give a bit of a sigh and he says, I do like the blending in part, but obviously I think the route that we should take should be a lot more subtle. You know, they might be, I don't know, hard-minded folks, but they did bring up a point. If our faces are plastered everywhere, then we are going to need to disguise ourselves considerably. But disguising us as Corsairs, if they arrested us for attacking fake Corsairs, imagine what they'll do if we impersonate real ones.
True.
My suggestion is we continue our investigation, but we disguise ourselves, we don't make any noise, and we use these guys to our advantage. All we need to do is locate where Magnolia is, and then we'll call the Corsairs, and they can do everything by the book. Right now, we don't need to find and kill Magnolia ourselves, or the rest of these goons, right? We just got to find them. And that's just my suggestion, Javier says. I'm not right all the time, that's for damn sure. But that's the thoughts that have been going through my head, both in the prison and here right now.
That's true. I don't know. It would really be neat if like we could get the Admiral to just give us some armor.
After what happened now, I highly doubt that.
Yeah,
Probably not.
I was really hoping to go behind some backs. It looks like it's going to be pretty hard to do that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But we stopped
Sneaking around like
the
normal's
bad
fine.
guys.
Yeah.
We did. See, that's the magic of the suits that I wanted, because they don't care who's in them as long as they're them. Kind of. Look, I know clothes, and I gotta say those things are like golden tickets. Beautiful.
Having some sort of outfit that completely covers our heads would be great for all of us. The only thing that would stick out would be Kid because of just their size. Xavier pauses for a moment. He looks to Anna. You aren't even on the record. You are a nobody. And how long have you lived in Zeberon? He asks, raising an eyebrow.
2 years.
2 years, Xavier says, with sound of an impressed sound in his voice. She's been in here 2 years and doesn't even have a traffic ticket or any photo ID. Now, are the people who assisted with that, are they all dead, or do you have other contacts?
I hope a couple of them are still alive. They weren't
Wow.
all horrible people.
And I can let you know, Two Snaps was your main contact, but there certainly were other people that you pulled jobs with that you know, and you in 2 years, you kind of made your own connections. They were all working with Two Snaps, but yeah, there'd certainly be people you know.
Yeah, and she probably wouldn't just restrict herself to 2 snaps anyways.
It's putting all your eggs in one basket. So Xavier suggests if we go down the real low-key subtle way, my first suggestion on that is to have Anna get in touch with one of her contacts. If we can be... Xavier pauses for a moment, then you can see like a flash hit his eyes, and he says, wait a second. If Magnolia was a Corsair, that means she has connections and contacts within the Corsairs. We might be more effective if we do cut ourselves from them completely. She might not see us coming. This, as strange as it is, could be a huge advantage to us. And if any sort of underground... You guys can't hear me, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Xavier will continue. And if any sort of underground movement has any sort of connections, they might be able to assist us with disguise, or at the very least information on how to get around the city without a lot of eyes looking at us. I'm not saying we can do our investigation with impunity. We'd have to be careful. But having a connection to some underground network, especially ones who also did business with Two Snaps, I bet you they would be invested into what happened to their old buddy and to make sure that same shit doesn't happen to them. We can find a common enemy in Magnolia and the rest of these weird armor-plated suicide-taking bastards.
It's worth a shot.
I'm just spitballing here. And Xavier will look to Anna and explain, this is typically how things go. We each propose an idea, and then we kind of vote, for lack of a better word, or acknowledge which one we want to go through. It's gotten our asses out of a sling a few times. But there's nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned brainstorming session.
I like
Do you
all
guys
this
have-
stuff.
Mhm.
I like pretty much all the plans.
Mhm.
Now, what I would really like, since you know what, I don't need Corsair uniforms. We don't need that pure just success. I like that little bit of grit in there, that little bit of things that won't entirely help.
Uh-huh.
But I would like to actually, fix up a few wardrobes. And he looks over to Isaac.
Isaac will roll his eyes, kind of anticipating something horrible in the future. And then he will shudder because he just remembered the sexy Splagorth costume.
I'm still trying to forget that. It's not working.
Yeah.
It's a good disguise.
No, it's not. First, do you not know the history of the Corsairs versus the Splagorth, man who made the Corsairs?
Yes, I do.
Dressing up as any Splagorth. Probably not the best idea. Sexy or no?
It will confuse them.
For 3 seconds.
Before they
Anyway.
open
And then you
fire.
blow them up.
Okay. Xavier will say, this costume thing, is that going to kind of help us keeping a low key, or is it going to make us louder?
No, I would make it so you blend in nice and easy. All I need is like a fashion magazine or something like that.
Oh?
Or even just like a picture of maybe some people on the road. Get a
Okay.
good eye for design.
Xavier gives a bit of a sigh and he says, all right, that sounds like a real good idea. There's only one thing I'm worried about. And his eyes fall on Kid. Out of all of us, you are the most unique looking.
Isaac will kind of chuckle at that, seeing as how he's literally the tallest person in the entire group.
But you're a human being, or an Atlantean. You look like a human being, right?
True.
Are you 3 feet tall, furry, and filled with rage and confusion of
That is
social conveyances?
That is the best description ever.
Wow.
Thank you.
No, I'm not.
Xavier pauses for a moment. You know what I wish we had? Talavac had a suit of armor that could turn him, if not invisible, pretty close to it.
I mean, I have one of those. Well, something similar-ish.
Xavier blinks. You do?
It's a Naruni one. If I recall correctly, it's supposed to be some really super good camouflage thing. I don't know if it literally turns you invisible.
Maybe we can jury-rig a little bit of it. I'm sure it... Well, if it's fitted to find you, then it's not going to fit them. He looks to Kid. Although I do have another idea. But Kid, he pauses for a moment. He kind of gets down. So he's looking at her, Kid, at eye level. And he says, I noticed in the prison, we all noticed, of course, you didn't like going into that cage. Is it the idea of a cage that bothers you, or is it any confined space?
Kid's gonna look away from Xavier and sort of shrug.
One shrug for yes, I hate all confined spaces. 2 shrugs for no.
They shrug once.
Xavier gives a bit of a sigh. Well, then there goes the idea of hiding her in something that a person could carry. Okay, back to the drawing board.
We
Like Miss
can
Fussy Dust?
that could work if I could find something in, like, you remember when he said don't stick out or something like he was asking about sticking out. I want to actually blend. I want to actually try to feel out this culture, the close of this era, as he seems to be like breathing in and having a different stance, as well as like a whole bunch of really weird movements with his hands, like somebody in front of like a pie that's trying to breathe it in.
Xavier is going to give a bit of a sigh, and he's going to say, I understand, Lucas, but the best fashion sense, the most cultural blending in thing possible, I don't think will help Kid unless you plan on disguising them as a hat.
Better.
And Xavier pauses for a moment.
Kid is
Better?
going.
See, that could. What if we? Oh, I saw this in one of those holovids. I can stand on their shoulders, and then we can just be a really tall person.
Oh my god. Xavier knows exactly what holovids you've been watching. And he says, those are holovids! But unfortunately, it is the closest thing we have to a solution right now.
I love this.
This might work.
Oh my
Take
God.
your bosses for a moment. Kid is incredibly strong, and if we get boots on their feet, no one's going to tell the difference. All we have to do is just jerry-rig some boots, make them tight enough so her feet can fit into them, and she'll look like you. I mean, you'll be on their shoulder. I know, but we got a big ship. We can find enough padding. Xavier says, you know what? It's not pretty, but it'll get us moving faster. What the hell? Let's give it a shot.
This is fantastic. So, just to let you guys know, in my head, I was jokingly going, she could just go limp around someone's neck and be a scarf.
No.
And then you came up with that idea, and I'm like, oh god, that's even worse.
Here's the best
thing.
thing.
They're going with it.
Here's the best thing. We already just established how tall Isaac is. We use one of his coats.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I am like... How tall are you,
would be the
Xavier?
equivalent of a Kid and a Lucas, without a doubt.
Yeah. How tall are each of you? I need to know.
Kid's
Because
about 4 foot.
Okay. I'm like 2.5 feet taller than you.
But Lucas wouldn't be standing on the top of her head. He'd be standing on her shoulders, right? So there goes another foot. And you wouldn't be counting Lucas's legs either, because they'd be hanging off the shoulders. So you'd just be going from his hips to his head, which is probably only about 3 feet. 3 feet plus 3 feet is 6 feet.
A little
Oh my
taller
God.
than Isaac, yeah.
You know, all you have to worry about is the legs, but Lucas has already mimicked a very corpulent lady. I'm sure he can add some padding where the leg sticking out won't matter.
Oh man. I'm
And
gonna
really,
wear one of Isaac's good
Kid-
suits.
Well, both Kid and
Oh my god, this can work.
Lucas have really good balance. So,
Yes.
just
Oh well,
saying.
this was meant to be. Your characters were made to mimic one person. Let's do this.
What
A
is this
sentence I
game?
never
What are we
thought
even
I'd say.
doing?
I believe we have just transformed them into Power Ranger Zords.
Oh god.
Zords have 5 people in their robots, Squee.
We're getting there.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're working on it. You're not.
They
perfect.
are like
You're getting there.
semi-Voltron.
I was gonna let
Stooges.
I was gonna let you guys know as players, because you would know these as characters. I don't think any of Isaac's clothes that could do that would be MDC. I think it would all be SDC. However, Anna, you would know this too. If you have any contacts that could get you disguises and things like that, it would not be MDC either, because MDC material within Zebron is almost unheard of. You had to get a writ from a senator for that.
So, out of curiosity, would Anna bring up her concern of protection after the fight that we just went through?
No.
Oh. Well, now let's try not a metagame and see if Xavier can be sensitive to that. No, he's pretty selfish. Not that he hoards everything himself, but he has a little bit of self-love. So unless someone says, "Hey, I have a problem," his mindscape isn't, "Hey, I know this person is without." That's kind of like not how his brain works. Damn
All right.
it. No, I
For
can't met
everyone
again.
watching this at home, this interaction between Anna and Xavier, this is called role-playing, people. And GMs, you need to reward this kind of thing.
That's
Would you
what
want
you get
something
for
that can
playing
help
a
you?
selfish
No, that's my character. Would my character help her? No, that's my That's fantastic.
So we have one
Yeah.
person who trusts her abilities way too much to use armor on a regular basis,
one-
and somebody's like, I'm not gonna my turn. This is
No,
gonna be
no,
fun.
it's no. You know, it's not like he knows and he pushed it out of his head. It's he didn't notice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what I did.
Like, and we've been on this crazy thing, and he's still steamed about the law, and we're dealing with making two people into one now. The last thing that's going to come across is like, hey, this new friend that we made, does she have enough armor protection for what we're doing? No, he wouldn't be thinking that. There'd be no reason for him to think that. Plus, like I said, slight selfish streak.
Yeah, especially since we're talking about disguises, she's not gonna probably be thinking past that.
Okay, well, there we go.
So we're gonna have to go back to the
Sorry,
ship,
DM.
right? We're
gonna have
going
to
back
what,
to the
the
ship.
I thought we were at the ship already. Shit.
You're
Oh.
you're about a 20-minute walk, or actually,
Yeah,
you
we're
know
not
what,
there
though?
yet.
You
We
guys
can do this
will-
while
no,
we're walking.
I was
No,
gonna say, yeah, you
no,
guys have been
I want
discussing
to-
this. No, wait. I understand. What I'm going to say is that because you guys have been discussing this for several minutes, you could have been discussing this while walking towards the ship, and you're not there yet, but you're pretty close by now. You're walking through the Corsair Academy.
Okay.
Weren't we supposed to be going to Town Central or whatever it was called?
Zeberon Square.
All right, we need to
were-
get sets
We
first.
were
though.
thinking of doing that, but I think we changed our plans. Right? Or did we want to
Well, we're
meet
supposed
up
to be
with
meeting
Cyber
Cyber
6?
Six
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what's the plan? Are we going back to the ship, or are we meeting with Cyber 6? Because if we're going back to
Well,
the
we
ship...
shouldn't fuck over Cyber 6. He's our only friend here.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you know what? Let's just meet with him, see what he has to say, and we have
Okay.
something in our pocket.
Then
Okay.
I have something for when we return to the ship, if we do that. But later.
Okay. Well, I can say this as well. If you just to let you guys know, if you want, transportation could be called for you by Sarah, which is about 3 minutes away from the ship. If you take
Oh, dear
transportation, I'm just letting you guys know all your options. But if you want to just go to
I
Cyber 6
know.
right now, I am fine with that.
How long
Let's-
would it take on foot? Because kids kind of voting for that if possible.
To get to Zeberon Square on foot,
Yeah.
hours.
Oh.
Yeah, we really can't do that, especially with Anna's sister.
Okay.
Yeah, think of it. Go ahead.
Let's walk to the ship, and on the way, I want to try and find some junk food. Is there any junk food places on the way?
Are we in an anime?
I'm asking because I have just sent you this, Squee, via Skype, and I
Excuse me.
also will send it to everybody on Discord. I'm looking for that.
You are not going to find that here. Let me tell you what
Damn
you'll
it.
find. Because here's where you are right now. You are in the most militarized district of the city.
This is
Where
bullshit.
barracks
Lol.
and soldiers are kept.
No
So-
burgers!
Here's what you will find.
Not a burger, that's an
You will
atrocity.
find food trucks. Food trucks that typically sell protein bars and sports drinks.
Son of a bitch. Okay, no, Heart's not gonna like that, so never mind. Let's just go to the ship then.
Okay. So you guys get to the ship. If you don't mind, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. Be right back. But I think it's assumed you guys are gonna be getting ready to go meet Cyber 6. So you guys do that. I'll be right back.
Cool. Also, for the record, that is a triple cheeseburger between 2 donuts.
That's disgusting, is what that is.
Look, I would normally be supportive of this to a certain extent, but I have not been feeling that great tonight, so that just looks horrible.
Ugh.
Well, fair enough. That is fair. Definitely fair enough.
Yeah.
Lucas will have to put away his weapons. It's good while it lasting.
What weapons?
Well, you did still summon the golem.
Yeah.
Oh, the shurikens are coming with me though. Those are keeps.
Those are keepsies.
But
No more Gatling gun.
Gatling gun, too big. Everyone notice. Rocket staff, too big.
Hurt pain,
Everyone
not
notice.
You didn't even
Sure
get
can-
to use your rocket staff.
I kind of barely can't for the most part.
Yeah, not here. Eventually,
Well,
though.
not here. Like I think I can fire one of the 3 missiles that are on there or something
Oh, right.
like that.
Because you're basically tapped for PPE.
Yeah.
Which I'm basically tapped for ISP. I tell you what. I'm missing 109 ISP.
Oh, honey, you need a nap.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to compare large numbers, do you?
Go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I am missing a grand total of 127.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm at 13 ISP.
I'm at 6.
Shit.
I'm tapped.
Yeah.
No more ISP for Lucas.
Good old PP.
The only thing is, I can barely heal anybody now. Ugh.
Oh, I can heal people. Stupid shurikens.
Okay, so we're going to meet up with Cyber 6.
Yep.
Anything we want to tell him?
I gotta use the washroom. Sorry, real quick.
Okay, we're gonna tell
we
him
need to
that
tell him
we need to tell him
about
that Xavier needs to
Magnolia.
use the washroom. No, just kidding.
It was a long drive.
Yes. Magnolia?
Yeah, we need to tell him about that because I don't. Did we tell him that she was behind this when he came in?
Oh no, we didn't. We
So
didn't
we
actually
should probably
tell him.
tell him.
Yeah.
Since, that's kind of important.
Mhm.
There was also what the puppet guy was raving about, the black who's what's it skulls.
Yeah. I've absolutely no idea what that is about, but hey.
Pirates.
Pirates! Yar har fiddle-dee-dee.
Don't you dare.
Well, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Sleep all
I'm
night and I
okay
work
with
all day.
this.
Hire back.
Cut down trees. I skip and jump. I like to press
Welcome back.
wildflowers.
Thank you. You guys making fun of my country.
No. I was singing the I Am a Lumberjack song
Aha.
from Monty Python.
I am back.
Not really singing, just quoting it. Also, welcome back, both of you.
Jesus, what restaurant did this come from?
I
I
have
need
no
to
idea.
Stop looking
A
at this.
glorious one.
Is that a donut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I explained, it is a triple bacon burger with crisp cut fries between 2 donuts.
No, sticking with atrocity.
That is simultaneously revolting and delicious looking.
I know, right? It's like, how dirty do I feel after looking at this?
You're
Pretty
dead.
dirty.
All right,
I
are we
think
all
I'm breaking
are we all
out
back?
right now.
I believe
Yes.
so.
Okay. So we can cover the ship very quickly if you guys, unless you guys don't want to do something in particular. Just one thing of note is that when you get to the ship, Hart is not there.
What?
Hart is not on the ship.
Let's ask Sarah where she is.
Yes.
Sure.
Sarah,
Sarah would-
where that hoe?
Help.
Wow.
And by Ho, I mean trusted friend and longtime companion.
Sarah would say, I don't know. She didn't contact me, but there hasn't been anyone that's entered the area. Hang on, give me a second. And after about 10-20 seconds, she gets back on. Well, the surveillance cameras in the hangar show her leaving. She seemed in a bit of a rush. She had some tools with her, I think. But I don't know where she went after she left the hangar.
Okay. And she didn't leave a note or anything.
No, you don't see a note in the ship.
Okay. Why don't we get all the clothes that we need? I'm going to take the scythe out of the duffel bag and all of that. And just shove the clothes that we need into the duffel bag. We're not bringing MDC weapons, are we?
We can.
What do you guys
yeah,
feel?
we can.
I know I'm bringing my shurikens, so there's that.
Okay.
Take what you like, I reckon.
All right. Then I will still take my MDC weapons.
The whole duffel bag?
I'm gonna shove the pistols in the duffel bag along with the clothes that we need in case Kid and Lucas wants to do that whole disguise thing.
Wait, so you're not doing that now?
Do we want to do that now?
Well, have we even met with Cyber 6 yet?
No,
though?
we haven't. That's why.
We have to meet with him first.
Yeah, we're at the ship. I'm getting all the stuff in case we want to still do that after meeting Cyber 6, right? Or do we want to go
we
there?
Were gonna meet Cyber 6 before we went to the ship, but that's fine.
But
it's too late now. We're at the ship.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you guys quickly get the gear you would need for the disguise thing on the ship. If there's anything else anyone wants to grab, either let me know or we can, retroactive it if you think of something a little bit later. And then you hop on one of the speeders that has an actual pilot. This is one of the more military ones, and head for Zebron Square. Correct?
Yes.
I believe so.
Oh, yes. It's about a 15-minute ride to Zebron Square. And while you guys are riding, the driver doesn't say a word, just takes you where you want to go. He does ask where you'd want to be set down, and when you get there, you see Zebron Square looks like, true to its name, it's a square in the first district, the government district, that looks like a perfect square of white walkway with a black-looking fountain. Like it has water, but the floor of the fountain is black, so it looks as if it's like a black fountain surrounded by a white walkway. It's about several hundred meters wide and long, and there's a decent amount of people walking to and from it.
Is there any sign of Cyber 6?
Sure. Everyone roll me a d20.
Look at all us high rollers. We are the highest of the rolling.
Lucas.
There you go.
You do see a glint of sunlight shine off of what you're pretty sure is the metallic head of Cyber 6. He is leaning up against a building nonchalantly.
Okay. Lucas will point over to Cyber 6. Found him. And I assume that we skedoot that way.
Okay. The speeder can definitely drop you guys off. And you get off the speeder, and Cyber 6 nods to you, and he says, "Well, that was certainly an adventure. I've tracked him down, but as I said, I haven't approached him. How do you want to play this?"
We need him not dead.
Well, he's not wearing any armor anymore, and he's stripped most of his uniform off. Obviously, that would be way too attention drawing. He is about 600 feet that direction behind some buildings. He's, last I saw, trying to use a terminal to do God knows what. I doubt he'll be there for long.
We should get him.
Agreed.
Well, I can try hitting him over the head, but it's about a 50-50 shot that I'd actually kill him by bludgeoning him or knock him out.
Xavier says, I still have my stun stick. They did return it to us.
That might help.
So,
Cyber 6 nods and goes, "So what exactly are we hoping to learn from this guy?"
Oh,
um,
general locations, background information. Gosh, the first guy was just freaking rambling on and on about skulls.
I see. Okay. Well, then if we're just trying to get information from him, I propose we take our time, approach it carefully. Doesn't seem to be that we're in any sort of rush.
It's true. Besides, whatever he's doing over there is most likely contacting someone. Wait. Can anyone do anything about tracking through the lines? Anyone? I'm a magic guy without any magic. I'm tapped.
Maybe, probably not. Let's look this up. Unless Radio Basic can do that, probably not.
No.
So wait, what are we
No.
trying to do?
Hack into the line of whatever he's trying to use.
Oh, hacking, yeah, no.
The closest that I have
could
is computer
grab
operation.
him. Kid suggests kind of half-heartedly.
I can cause him paralysis.
Oh?
Have to get decently close, but
but he doesn't know you.
probably not.
Doesn't
So?
he? She was fighting with us.
Yeah, she was on the speeder.
No, we just need to distract him.
Cyber 6 perks up. By the way, who is she? Who are you again?
Anna.
As Cyber 6 extends his purple hand and says, "Pleasure to meet you, I suppose." Cyber 6.
She shakes his hand briefly.
Well,
I was just waiting for anybody to say that. I would love to be a distraction.
Oh, there we go.
so Lucas's distraction. You, yes, Cyber 6 nods to Anna, go do whatever you do to paralysis him.
I guess so.
You swoop in, scoop him up, question him.
And Cyber 6 nods and says, and then he looks at Kid. You can grab him.
Okay.
Okay, so Cyber 6 is he goes, come on, I'll show you where he is. And he turns around to go. And on the square, you all can see. So above the square, there's a giant screen, and the screen has been playing news reels nonstop for the few minutes you've been there, which is shaky cam of the fight that you guys just went through, like an earth elemental pounding something into the ground that you can't see. A kid disappearing and then reappearing in front of what looks like a corsair, and many of the news reporters are saying, these criminals violently attacked corsairs. Unconfirmed reports say that they were attempting to do this or that. And it was playing in the background as you were discussing this with Cyber 6. And as he turns to go, there's the screen just like gets all staticky, and then the scene changes, and you see a girl with pigtails with a screwdriver in her mouth that seems to be fiddling with something on this below the screen. You can just kind of see her pigtails bobbing. And
all we can do is watch it.
She goes, oh, and she looks up at the camera, and she takes the screwdriver out of her mouth, and she goes, hi, my name's Hart, and I've been seeing that these shows have been saying that my friends are really, really bad people. And I just thought that someone should say the truth, that they're not bad people. They're very, very kind people. They're my friends. And whatever they're saying they did, they didn't do because they're heroes. And you shouldn't believe them because they're dumb. So, yeah, I gotta go because I'm pretty sure this is illegal. But I just wanted to say they're good people. Kid, I got the frill back. He's safe. And Isaac, don't forget my mirror. Bye. And she's like, runs.
God bless you, you magical beast.
That is not what I'm thinking.
Oh my god.
Anna was impressed with her until she said her name, and then she's shaking her head. She doesn't know who this is, though, but other than that.
Thing is, she didn't even say what type of mirrors, so I mean,
You know what kind.
Okay.
Number one
And
star.
the screen, as the screen goes staticky, you hear this, "Hey, stop!" And then it switches back over to a news broadcaster who looks very confused.
Wow.
You
That's
know
all I
her?
can say. That's our engineer.
Oh, okay.
Less
She's got a lot of
talking, more
spunk.
catching. Kid says as they start towards where the person is supposed to be.
Cyber 6, who watched the whole thing with you, just goes, huh. Anyway, he's this direction.
Would different clothes be a good idea right now after that spectacle?
Less talking, more catching.
Okay.
Excuse me. So Cyber 6 would take you around a building outside of the square. And then he'd stop at the edge of the building and he'd say, if you calmly and slowly look around, you'll see him about 200 feet down using a public terminal. He's the bald one.
How far away is he right now?
About 200 feet.
Okay. So,
I'm just imagining us all just like poking our heads around the corner.
Oh god, like Scooby-Doo
Just like
or
this
something.
totem pole heads.
Mhm.
Just, like,
be subtle.
trying
Everyone
to
looks.
Inconspicuously.
Don't look.
Look.
Everyone looks. Shit.
It's like starting with like Kid's head, then like Anna, then Xavier, then Lucas, then Isaac.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who look, you see very accurate to his description, about 200 feet down on this row of buildings. there is a man using a public terminal. He is wearing black pants and a black tank top, which looks like probably the undershirt of the Corsair uniform. He appears to be favoring one of his arms, and he is currently trying to use the machine, and you can hear even from here sounding a little frustrated.
I need to get within 40 feet.
All right. That's your gods. That's to you, Lucas. Xavier says, looking to his crazy, crazy fucking friend.
Now, this is a public place with a lot of people here.
The square has a lot of people. This is outside the square. It has less people. It still has, I'd say, about 5 people of varying, within visual distance up and down this road.
Okay. So I have to scratch that plan. Or do I? Yeah, fuck it, I won't.
That's the spirit.
You said it's about 20 feet?
200.
Oh, 200. Never mind.
Lucas will go around the corner. You'll see a bright light from around the corner, and then outstep a very sexy Splagorth.
Oh,
God.
there's a reason for this. Now it's happening.
Oh my god. Okay.
LOL GM. LOL GM.
What are you doing with this sexy Splagorth?
He's going to walk casually, giving the man a good berth down the road, not really saying anything, simple stride, maybe a bit of a hip wave. a wavy hip, maybe.
All right. So the 5 or so people that I said are within visual sight. The ones that are close enough to make out what you're wearing scream in horror, and you hear one go, ah! And they all start running away. The man, obviously attracted by their screams, looks up, looks to you, kind of gets like this disgusted look on his face, like the hell, and looks around confused, and then looks back to you, and he just shrugs, and you hear like, understand this freaking place, and turns back to the monitor.
Perfect. Anna is going to try and get closer to him without being noticed. But
Okay.
prowl or
He's most likely going to keep going past him a little bit.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
And then he's gonna, once he's like a good 50 feet the other way, he's gonna stop and then turn, and then start going towards the terminal next to him.
Oh my god. Okay. He is going to watch you with a look on his face like, the hell is this crazy guy doing? Trying to figure out, well, you don't know what he's trying to figure out, but he has this look on his face, this kind of half confusion, half revulsion.
Mm-hmm.
He's not stopping what he's doing, but it's kind of like a guy, like if you try and stand right next to him in a urinal, he's looking at you kind of like, what the? Anna, if you could roll me a prowl check, make it easier by 20, please.
minus 20?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. That
Oh, wow.
succeeds.
Okay. You definitely are able to walk within 40 feet of him. And he is still staring at the sexy Splagorth next to him.
Okay.
Hey, want to be my slave?
Oh,
My
God.
My brain.
There was a point where we could have stopped and we should have. But then we didn't. Oh God, why?
It wasn't we, it was just Piph. Let's be real here.
Uh,
No.
he says in that strange accent, "Leave me alone," and just kind of like he goes to turn his shoulder towards you, but that's about the same time Anna is within striking distance, shall we say?
Yes. So then she will do neural strike for paralysis of motor responses.
All right, what's the save? Is there a save?
There's no save. That it's mentioning. I assume there'd just be a d20.
Oh, it's like an attack. Oh, then
Yeah.
yes, by all means.
Okay.
Okay. You're 40 feet, so you're within 50 feet, so that's definitely a hit. Your prowl check caught him by surprise, so you hit him.
Then
not
the
gonna have a
legs
chance
of
to react to that.
victim. Then the legs of the victim have become paralyzed and cannot move. The arms and hams become numb and lose the sensation of touch, jerk, and tremble, rendering them virtually useless.
Okay. Does it say anything about any other parts of the body?
Why?
No.
Okay, that's not terrible. Roll me a D100, please, and choose high or low.
Oh dear.
That's not how you do that. Let's go high.
Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say, because the description isn't specifically stated, but it makes sense in the kind of attack you're doing. That it's not like his legs would go numb and his arms would go numb and his torso and head feel no effect whatsoever. That's not how electricity works. So I'm going to say that yes, it made his entire body feel numb.
So he
And-
can't move his jaw?
He flops down on the ground with his eyes fluttering way too quickly.
I didn't know I had that kind of effect on them.
You'd be
Kid's
surprised what
going
kind of effect
to
you have.
run over.
As he then raises up his arm, changes out of sexist bookworth.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right. Kid, you said you were running over?
Yeah, Kid's gonna run over and I guess restrain him. Well, not restrain him, but they're gonna open his mouth and start looking for loose teeth.
Ah, nice.
Kid the dentist.
I don't think you want them rutting around in your teeth. Let's be real.
Okay.
Agreed.
This is the strangest use for the skill I've had to date, but could you please roll me a detect concealment, please?
Should I make it harder or easier by any amount?
No, just your normal skills, fine.
Okay. Does that? No, that's a fail. Shit.
Okay. You can't from your cursory check tell if any of the teeth are fake or not. It either he doesn't have one, or more likely, it's a very convincingly done job.
Kid's going to say, I can't find it.
Well, there's one of two ways. Anybody here know anything about fake teeth?
I
could
swear to
just
God.
start
I swear to
pulling.
God. I swear to God. If Lucas just summons up a chattering teeth, I will punch him in the fucking face. Fake
Well,
teeth.
Prepare your punching arm.
Chattering teeth.
Those teeth are real, mister.
Yeah,
They're
they have
magic.
feelings.
Cyber 6 is going to shake his head. Say, I'm a robot. I don't even have real teeth.
Xavier shrugs. He says, unless you're smuggling microfilm or a data chip in it, I can't help you. Actually, Xavier says, a false tooth is really good for smuggling small items.
Take a look, because you're not going to like my option 2.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can't my character somehow.
Sure.
Concealment.
Yeah, you know what? I'll let you use
Concealment and
that.
palming, yeah. I mean,
I'll say-
concealment is hiding small items on your body. That could also mean in your mouth and fake teeth.
I like that. I like that description. Go ahead and use that skill.
Okay.
As
Just double
Kid
check.
hopes open his mouth.
Okay, so 62. I gotta beat. I gotta roll under 62. Yeah, I got 35.
Kid's just holding up this guy by the head, just has his jaws parted, like, you see anything?
So Xavier, you notice that on looking on vision, the teeth look all perfectly, natural. They're all the same shade. They're all fairly straight, more or less.
Okay.
If you reach in, you reach in there, you start maybe wiggling one or two.
Sure.
You do notice one that it's in there pretty good, but like that last little wiggle, you heard like a sucking noise.
Oh, my tooth now.
And a good hard yank would pop it out. There's a little bit of blood. Not much. Not nowhere near as much blood as there should be if you just pulled a tooth out. And the tooth itself looks very natural. It still has all its roots. And you have a tooth in your hand.
I have a tooth in my hand, Xavier says. Now it's time. He's no. In all honesty, Xavier will pocket the tooth for evidence, aka also maybe use later, as he says he's sticking with us. He ain't going nowhere now. Hello?
Yes.
Anyone
Yep,
have
sorry.
restraints?
Lucas is.
Yeah.
Oh, restraints. Shit. As he starts patting himself down, taking out small bits of things out of his pouches and pockets and things like that. He takes out a wallet, takes out a few glasses, bags of poppers, bags of confetti, another wallet, another wallet, a higher grade leveled wallet.
By the way,
medium
paralysis
grade
only
wallet,
lasts 2 minutes.
high grade wallet, another high grade wallet.
Oh my god. Kid's gonna look at Cyber 6 and go, do you have anything?
Cyber 6 is actually looking at the impressive display of wallets. He goes, what? Well, kind of. I mean, I can hold him. Pretty much guarantee he's not getting out of my grasp.
Might want to do that soon.
Oh, okay then. And Cyber 6 gets underneath him and picks him up, and he does something a little weird. He puts him almost like a backpack, where his back is to the guy's back, and his arms are over Cyber 6's shoulders, and his legs are pulled up underneath onto Cyber 6's torso. And with each hand, he grabs a leg and an ankle and a wrist. And he holds them and he says, this guy would have to be some kind of supernatural dragon to get out of this hold.
Did he just backpack this guy?
He just backpacked this guy.
What the fuck?
Well, if you think about it, that's a really
Fantastic.
hard position to get out of.
Kid's just watching this I should keep this in mind.
He says, okay, I have him. Should we take him back to, well, where? Do you want to interrogate him? I'm assuming that was the idea.
Maybe he'll know where your sister is. Kid says, looking at Anna.
Cyber 6 looks at Anna. Your sister's in trouble?
Yeah. Whoever's the head of all this also took my sister.
Oh, well, then we don't have time to delay.
Speaking of, I'm not too hot with computers, let alone future computers. What's that? As he points over to the console he was using.
Oh, it's just a public terminal. It gives you information. It connects to the ISOnet.
So, I
Can
mean,
we-
he was right in the middle of something. Can you tell me what it was?
Oh. And Cyber 6 will turn around and look at the console, bumping the guy's head as he bends over. And he says, you know what, Lucas? Roll me a D100.
Wow. That's really meta of you, Cyber 6.
Yes. Yes. He says as he continues to hit the guy's head. Oh, wow.
Oh, fuck.
Wait, what?
I
Wait.
hit the button once. Take the 75. Take that one.
No, I get to choose which one I take.
Okay.
No. We'll take the 75. And he says, looks like he is pulling up a manifest of ships. List of ships here. Oh, no, not ships, docking ports. Docking ports with ships at them. Cyber 6 shrugs. Is this helpful?
We're looking
Yes.
for a ship.
Oh, do you know what kind of ship?
Do we? Kid says.
No, but he might.
Cyber 6 nods and he goes, okay. And he kind of, his eye clicks and he goes, well, I got a picture of whatever he was looking at. So if we can find out what kind of ship, we have the database of what he was looking for.
Good.
I do not have used computer. Fuck.
I do.
Oh.
I have used computer.
Then would you mind a friendly player hint?
What?
You may want to try to use that to maybe, I don't know, hit the back button a few times to see what he was looking at.
Yeah, let me do that, GM.
Yes. Go ahead, Anna.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, Anna also has this, and once she hears ships, she's probably going to want to look at it herself.
Okay.
Well, then I will say this. I was gonna say you could both use it. Isaac would be getting a penalty. Anna would not.
What's
Okay.
my penalty?
15. You're familiar with computers. You know how to use them. It'd be like you've used Macs your whole life, and now here's an IBM.
I succeed by nearly 20.
I
Okay.
succeed.
So Anna and Isaac kind of fight over the keyboard. But you guys managed to hit back a few times. And excuse me, hang on. I did not mute that in time. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So here's what you find. He is his last few pages. He is looking for ports more than ships. And according to his search terms, he is looking for any ports in the area that do not currently have any logged ships, but have not had any activity for the past week. So no ships are docked there, and no ships have docked there in the past week.
Okay.
So, possibly a place where a ship had been smuggled in.
Yes, because there's no manifest. But there could still be a ship there.
Mhm.
Why don't we check that out?
Well, you both rolled extremely well, and you do have that database of the ships he was looking at.
Mhm.
There is such a thing. There is a pad that does not have a ship at it and has not had it at it for a week. It's in Sector 3. It's in a fairly busy area of the port, but it is a smaller pad used mainly for private industries.
Okay.
Anna's getting very excited right now.
Actually, Anna, because you rolled so well and you've been here a while. It's a pad 2 Snaps has used in the past.
she will point this out to the group.
So you know where it is.
Yes.
You know any secret spy way to get in there?
Would I?
Well, no, it's just a public port. It's
Yeah.
yeah, actually it's not quite a public port. Hang on, let me think here for a second. Because I got something in my head. I'm just trying to figure out how to describe it.
Something like, would she know how to like get around the surveillance cameras?
So here's the thing. The port itself is not accessible to the main public. The area around it, of course, is, but you can't just walk onto anyone's shipping port. That would be I can imagine 100 different companies that would have a huge issue with that. So the area itself would be enclosed. Would you know how to get in? You would know how to get to it. However, off the top of your head, it's not like it was a place you had to smuggle yourself into. Every time you went there, you were doing business for 2 snaps, so you just walked right in through the front door.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So Lucas gets a shrug.
Darn. Really wanted to do something like crawl through some future vent. Do you guys have vents? Have you evolved past vents?
I don't know.
I am going to say that in the many, many, many years of architecture, no one has evolved past vents. Because it turns out they're just that damn useful. I mean, not for criminals. I mean, for, air circulation and the like.
Yeah, heating, cooling, air circulation, the huge.
So just the technology has changed.
Mm-hmm. Cyber 6 goes, okay, so we have a location. We still keeping this guy? He says, shaking the guy on his back.
You know what? We'll wrap him up nice and pretty, put him in front of the building, and have the authorities work him out. I don't think we really need him that much.
Unless something goes wrong here and we don't get the information we needed.
I could take him to the Corsair Detention Center.
Do that. That sounds great. Then we can check out this place.
Oh yeah, we can detain anybody. Yeah, that guy. Detain that guy.
Cyber 6 nods and he says, and the CDF would not have access to it, so if you needed to question him later, he'll be there. Okay, then I'm going to take him back to the Corsair Academy, and I'll try and meet up with you guys. So
out of character, did we tell him about Magnolia?
You have not out of character.
We should. Right.
Oh shit, yeah.
So Cyber 6.
Yes. He says, like, adjusting the guy on his back, getting ready for, like, a walk.
I forgot, but it turns out that the leader of this whole entire thing is Magnolia.
Cyber 6 drops the guy.
Dude,
as he goes,
he needs to be detained. Pick him up. What are you doing?
Paralysis is probably done at this point.
Oh my god.
The guy actually starts to get up as Cyber 6 like puts a foot on him and pushes him back down. What do you mean, Magnolia?
Don't worry, we'll take care of it, but Magnolia.
He was on the video.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I'm cool.
Well, if you're on the case, no, Cyber 6 goes, but that doesn't make any sense. They're not that stupid. Simmons,
I don't know why.
Run.
I don't know why, but she has recruited all of these people. She has gotten them to swear fealty to her enough so that they will take poison hidden in fake teeth. And they have all sworn that they either will succeed or they will die. She is here. She has been seen on actual live camera footage killing her old boss. And for some reason, she was trying to quote unquote murder Senator Teal as a distraction. And as you saw from the big huge battle, we stopped all the Corsairs who were sent there, or fake Corsairs, sorry, who were sent there to assassinate probably a lot of senators.
And something about black skulls.
Yes, something about black skulls. I don't know what that is. They also have all these weird accents. I can't differentiate it. By the way, let me take care of that. And then Isaac will bend down and punch the guy in the face to try and knock him out.
Okay. Just roll damage for me, please.
Okay.
If you would like hit him.
All right. 1d6 plus 4.
Oh, don't.
5.
Oh no. Okay, good. Is that
Okay.
Yeah, it's just raw strength. Dude, Isaac is nowhere near Jack's level. He does not have a plus 11.
I mean, we could always try Kid.
Oh, Jesus.
So you punch him when it seems like his tongue is trying to work at the back of his mouth and he's looking a little surprised. You punch him, his face bounces off the concrete and he goes, "Ah, fucking bastard."
Yeah, I told you, knocking people out's hard.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Isaac will pull out. Or go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
No. Go ahead.
Cyber 6 will say, "First of all, I can tell you Magnolia only has one boss, one person beyond me that she would ever work for. Secondly, I don't understand what's going on here, but something doesn't add up. It's somehow in a few days she managed to convince this man to be suicidally loyal." He shakes his head and he says, "I know you're new to time travel, but when they got back here to Zeberon, they would have had no more time than what we had when they left." And he shakes his head and he says, "Look, okay, I think I have a lot of questions for this guy now. So, like planned, I'm going to take him to the detention center. You find her sister, meet me back there, and don't do anything stupid. And if you find her..."
Oh, no.
He
We're not
kinda-
going to kill her. We're not going to kill her. We need all of the information that we can out of her. So if we do find her, we'll take her alive.
He nods and says, "Yes, but better she be dead than get away."
Oh, of course. What, are you kidding me? This is not my first rodeo. Come on.
I get it.
He nods as he hoists the guy up and begins to form the backpack again. Despite the guy's protest, he doesn't seem to notice too much. And Cyber 6 says, "She was fanatically loyal to Simmons, and you've already seen what he can cook up. Be
Yeah.
careful."
So that other boss that you were mentioning, is it Simmons? Or is it somebody else we haven't met?
Wait. Oh. You're talking to Cyber 6.
Yes.
He goes, "Simmons. Simmons, Magnolia is Simmons' girl."
I see.
He nods. "We probably have a lot to discuss. I didn't think it was important because I thought Simmons would be gone, but if he's making some sort of play that we don't see later, we'll talk later."
Yeah.
And Cyber 6 will start running with the guy towards the Corsair Academy.
Yeah. All right. So, gentlemen and ladies, where would we like to go?
We should go to this one place.
Okay. Should we do the whole disguise thing?
We should probably prepare for a fight.
Probably. Would we like to get in our quote-unquote mega damage armors and guns and stuff?
Well, I'd like to make another suggestion since I have to stop in about 15 minutes anyway.
Why don't we stop the session?
This might be a good place to stop the session, and you guys can kind of think
Sounds
about what we want the next step to be. Yeah,
Works for me.
Cool.
awesome. All right then. Then we'll go ahead and end the session here. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Chat was very very into it this evening, so that was fun. And we'll see you
20
guys.
credits for Sploogie.
Oh my god. Why?
So we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, we'll see you guys next week. Do not forget that Riffs is actually taking a break because this upcoming Sunday is
The holidays.
Yeah, it's the holidays. It's Christmas Day, and then the next week is, New Year's Day. So
New Year's.
we're
And
taking 2
it's-
weeks for Riffs, our Sunday games.
And it's a fair point to make. We might end up having to do the same for 3 Galaxies. We'll figure it out, but we'll let you guys know through Twitter and whatnot. So,
I mean, it balances out because, last year and the year before, since we were doing 2 years, Christmas and New Year's didn't fall on Sunday, so we actually played Rift during the holidays, so this was inevitable.
Yeah, it was going to happen eventually.
All
So
right.
anyways, we will
Bye,
see you
everybody.
next time. Bye!
Bye.